Welcome to tonight's away fan chat show live on Leicester Fan TV. Really looking forward to this one as Leicester City travel to London to take on West Ham United. So if you're joining us live, get the debate going. Comments, everything, like, subscribe, just do it. If you're joining us on YouTube after on playback, we've got a show Monday at 7:30, Wednesday at 7:30, Thursday at 7:30, Friday at 7:30, and Jamie's show on Sunday, the Aftermath show, at 9:30 on Sunday morning. So, guys, let's go and get started.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the Fan Zone show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, and Hope Against Cancer. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show. I'll be joined by my co-host tonight, Mark, and I'll be joined by West Ham fan Russ from West Ham Network, or as you know him, as My Hammers 11 last season. We'll get Russ in shortly. Thank you to the guys at ADT, the Hollogram, Tiger, Pizzas, Pukka Pies, Pink Leasing, Leicester Riders, the Fox's Arms in Alcudia, and Hope Charity. Guys, if you want to keep updated on Leicester Fan TV, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. We're even on Snapchat and even on TikTok. Go and follow us wherever you can. Let's get a few comments in then. Imtiaz, hello. How you doing? I'm good. The third chat actually looks better in dark lighting. It seems it is. Sean, hello. Ross, hello. Fee, hello. Karen, hello from England. How are you? Vaughan, hello. Ian Reid, hello. Chris, watching from Zambia. We've got the Zambian striker, Mr. Patson Daka as well. So go and enjoy him this season, Chris. I'm sure he'll put on a show. DJ Russie B will be in the house shortly. So we'll get our questions into him. We'll be talking about the opposition and getting everything over to Russ. Karen, hello. Maxine, good evening. How are you? Right then, let's get Mark in. Mark, hello, pal.
Hi, pal. You all right?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Are you looking forward to tonight's show then, Mark?
I am indeed, mate. It's been ages since I've seen you.
do you think we will sign Madueke? It's possible. Apparently, Leicester has been active with PSV for the last 3 to 4 weeks. I believe that a figure of around £30 million will prize him away, but they're still holding firm. So it'll remain to be seen whether Madueke will be at Leicester at the end of the window. Sorry. Do you wait for the players after every game? Yeah. Dean, hello. How are you, pal? No, I bet it's nice in Grimsby, I'm sure. Nice to League 2 football. Madueke's been good recently. We need to get him, of course. What's happening with Dennis Pratt? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I believe that he's been linked with the Serie A. So we'll keep tabs on that one. Hello, Mark. Fee says. Ross has said hello. Good evening. Madueke and that Chinese defender we are linked with. Leicester's been linked with everybody this transfer window. It's all speculation and rumours at the minute. Nothing concrete, but I'm sure there'll be something in the next couple of days or so. So keep your eyes peeled at Leicester Fan TV and around all the socials. Smash a like for us, share this stream, and subscribe to Leicester Fan TV if you're new watching tonight. Steve Askins, buy English players that go down the pub, not just here for the money. Lewis, hi, Snap with Jack. Yeah, welcome to Snap with Jack. It's a thing I do on TikTok. Anthony Lindo, hello. Next Monday, West Ham versus Leicester. Who's gonna win? Of course, Leicester. We'll get Russ's opinion on that very, very soon. I'm in Grimsby, but support Leicester. When is the next game? Monday. Live at the London Stadium. West Ham versus Leicester. Let's get the man in himself, Mr. DJ Russie B, Mr. West Ham Network.
Well
Russ,
done, West Ham
evening.
Network. West Ham Network. Yeah, very good. Well done. Well remembered, Jack. Well done. Well done. Well done.
How are you, pal?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm really buzzing for this season. I don't know. I think all the fans are back, and last week was brilliant, wasn't it? Just to see fans back in the stadiums, and whether obviously we was at Newcastle and 3,000 travelling Cockneys all the way up to Geordie Land. Yeah, brilliant. I'm really, really good, man. Really, really good.
So, Russ, the Premier League is back then after a very long stage away, obviously with COVID and that. It's a great feeling to be back, isn't it, Russ? Especially with West Ham's first home game coming up against Leicester. Yeah,
exactly. It really, really is, man. It's been a long time coming, as Sam Cooke once said. But it has been, and it was great. And I mean, I don't know the same with you guys, but I didn't go to the Newcastle game. I barely get a pass for the home game, to be honest. But I sort of have to be there. But seeing on Twitter and Facebook, seeing people, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday with beers on the train, seeing like little Snapchat or Instagram videos of people having a beer on the train and singing and dancing at the stadiums. And it's just great to see. It just makes me really happy. It makes you really happy. I think it makes me really appreciate football more. Do you know what I mean? I think,
yeah.
You don't know what you've got till it's gone. I'm full of them today. But it's true. And I think people have really missed going to live football. It's great. You can watch every game on the TV. Brilliant last season. Arguably, a lot of people probably had a better view than they would do if they were watching it at the ground. But it's not about the football. It's about the experience. And so, it's brilliant. It is great to be back. Long may it continue. That's all I hope for.
Yeah. Mark, you travelled to Leicester on Saturday to watch Leicester versus Wolves. How was the experience, Mark? Obviously, being back in the King Power Stadium for the first Premier League game of the season with a full capacity.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Every game's an away game for me, apart from the Norwich game coming up. Living in Norwich, it's a bit of a trip every home game. But like Russ said, I was up at 5. I was on the early train. Unfortunately, I had to sit with Forest and Derby fans, but they were all heading the same way as me. But no, it was brilliant. Brilliant just to get back in the stadium, hear that sound, smell it. The smell, it's got a smell of its own. Can't beat it.
Ross, first question.
It's that sensory thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's that smell, cut grass, particularly at the end of the game when it's all been churned up. That smell, you can't replicate that.
And that walking up the stairs,
to
the steps, and all of a sudden, there it is. Great.
Sorry, Jack. Sorry, carry
on. First question then, Ross. Do you think you'll keep hold of Declan Rice, or Chelsea's still sniffing around?
I think we'll keep him. I don't think Chelsea. I think a lot of people are sniffing, but I think you look at who spent money this season. I think at least this. I've got this sort of weird. I don't know what it is. Almost like maybe sort of my claret tinted glasses view, but. Martin Noble, it's his last season this season. After 17, this is his 18th and final season at the club. He's retiring at the end of this season. And then Declan is the main man, in theory. I mean, he's a club. He's basically a team. Dec's a team captain already. And he loves it. He seems to enjoy his football. Hopefully, maybe one of his friends might come back. Who knows? Maybe Jay Lings might come back and he'll be happy. But no, I think we'll keep hold of him. I definitely think we'll keep hold of him this season for sure. And hopefully for a couple of seasons, I think. A lot of teams are spending a lot of money, a lot of money. So it's got to stop soon. That makes sense. Man United spent a lot. City has spent a lot. Chelsea has spent 90 odd million on Lukaku. I can't really see him going to anyone else apart from those top 3 teams in the UK, for example.
Yeah. Last match then, boys. Let's first talk to Mark about Leicester against Wolves. A goal from Jamie Vardy. He's been written off in pre-season, hasn't he, Mark, for the age of 34 that he is. But he's not getting any younger, is he, Mark? But, he still knows where the goal is, and he seems to, time and time again, prove all his critics wrong.
He was playing like he did a couple of seasons ago on Saturday. He was just sniffing around. He wasn't hanging around on the wing, being the provider. He wanted a goal. Like you said, he knew exactly where that ball was coming in, and what a ball it was. Let's be honest about that. But well, Vardy's Vardy, isn't he? He knows what he's doing. He knows where the back of the net is.
And what a celebration!
Yeah, I don't think the Wolves fans were that impressed with it, but I was.
Not any fans can be acceptable for that other Russ, an away fan at the King Power Stadium. Vardy seems to know how to get it out of away supporters, doesn't he? Or the
but there's players like that, and you love players. We had it with Arnautovic for a couple of years, and you love a. I can say bastard because that's not a swear word, but we love a bastard player, don't we? We do. Having a pantomime villain, having a guy who you love him, but we had loads of them. Kevin Nolan, people like Craig Bellamy, Di Canio, but Di Canio didn't really sort of like he's where Vardy would have, and I'd say Arnautovic, they overtly wind up the crowd. Di Canio just did it because he was just an amazing player and was just passionate. I wouldn't think he would point, because he just loved football rather than necessarily love winding people up.
So a good start then, Mark, was it against Wolverhampton on Saturday? Great start to the season, 1-0. You would have took it, wouldn't you, Mark? The way we defended and the way we carried out the game is something we've improved on. I
think it was a game of 2 halves again, though. The first half we were completely dominating everything. Second half, things started to change, didn't it? I think Maddison's grueling hip injury, and then the change of formation, it just sort of changed the game.
Yeah. Please rest Antonio.
We'll do a deal. You can rest Vardy, and we'll rest Antonio. I'll be happy with that.
What a beast, though, Russ. Obviously, you've got some beasts around the footballing world in Akim Femmer and Adama Traore at Wolves. Look how strong they are. The pace as well they carry, and they just love the urge and the energy to carry out a game.
Yeah, I mean, when he's on foot, when he's not injured, he is pretty much when he's got the bit between his teeth, he's unplayable. I mean, so much in terms of his injuries, so much so last season that if you ask a West Ham fan about Antonio's best performance, they'll say that half hour against Wolves. So the first that we played he came out like he was prime Ronaldo, like R9 Ronaldo for like 30 minutes, and then he went off injured. But it was almost like a toy. He'd got wound up so much, just go and just attacked the Wolves backline. On again when he's got the bit between his teeth. And touch wood, he hasn't been injured. He's played all pre-season, hasn't got picked up an injury. Played the whole game against Newcastle again, which I was surprised when we especially went 4-2 up. I thought, well, they'll take him off now, and they didn't. He could have thrown the Yarmolenko off or put Bowen up there. Nah, they kept him going, which I thought was a bit risky. But it was what it was. But yeah, he's now our equal Premier League goal scorer of all time. He's equalled with Di Canio. So if he bags one on Monday, he gets the record. So there's an extra incentive for him to get that goal.
Oh, good. Russ, let's talk about your last game then.
Yeah.
Away at Newcastle, a 4-2 victory.
Yeah.
That's a great start for West Ham, isn't it? Going into the next game, which is against Leicester, and giving them confidence to know they can perform to them standards for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Newcastle have been our bogey team. And I mean, last season we lost 2-1. I think it was 2-1 or 2-0 at the beginning, the first game of the season, which wasn't very good at Argaff. And we lost Well, it was basically one of the games which I think cost us the Champions League spot. I think we lost 2 or I think it was 3-0. Craig Dawson got sent off towards the end of last season. So it's always a place we don't like going to. And for me, it was a really good performance, but it wasn't the complete performance. You know what I mean? It was a good performance, but it's a performance I was happy with. If we'd gone to Newcastle and say, because obviously they scored after a couple of minutes, it went 1-1, then they scored again. It went 2-2. If we'd gone there and won 4-0 and kept a clean sheet, it would have sort of papered the cracks. We defensively, we are not as strong as we were halfway, the first half of the season, for example, last season. But we've got enough belief and firepower to score goals. So, a few times last season, we went down quite early. Leeds away, they scored very, very quickly. It doesn't bother me. We've got a goal in us, which is something which throughout my West Ham fan career, we haven't had that always. So, but yeah, really, really pleased with them. Lots of good performances. Not so, but we get through.
Yeah. You would have took that performance, wouldn't you, Russ? Obviously, how did pre-season go for you guys with fitness and that?
Yeah, I mean, undefeated pre-season, which again is not. I said at least some bubbles. It's just not 123 today. That's impossible. I swear the oldest person in the world is like 115. But anyway, we'll see that later. We're seeing bubbles at the end. Pre-season was really strong. We didn't lose a game, but the last time we did that, we went down with Avram Grant. So that's never necessarily a good sign. But yeah, we turned over Celtic 7-2 at their gaff, and yeah, it's been well. There hasn't been any injuries. I said Antonio's played all pre-season and looked sharp. We've brought in a few, I know you said we've probably linked to twice as many people as you have, to be fair. We just brought in goalkeepers. We've got plenty of goalkeepers if anyone wants one now. But we've brought a couple of young lads in. A guy from Celtic called Okaflex, who scored a hat-trick in the under-23s, who's really, really good. Seen a bit of game time from him. But yeah, pre-season was all right. Just got there, man. Just got through it.
Let's talk about team news then. Russ, from West Ham's perspective, what sort of team are you looking to put out against Leicester City on Monday night?
Well, I think without we didn't seem to get any injuries or anyone got any knocks. So I think you're looking at, I wouldn't be surprised if we go out with almost the same team. So you look at Fabianski in goal, and then a back four of Dawson, Ogbonna and Soufal, and then you sort of the midfield, the sort of CDM 2 of Souček and Rice, then a middle 3 of Bowen, Ben Rama, and Fornals, and the Beast up front. And so I think that's sort of how that's how I think most people think we're set up. But David likes a twist. There's always one. There's always a little twist. But I can't see a twist happening for the starting lineup. Maybe on the bench with a few more of because as I said, the under-23s turned over Arsenal under-23 6-1 on the Monday. And so there's some really good youngsters. I'd like to see a few of them on the bench. If we're not going to, we're on Wednesday. I don't think we'll sign it. Well, we might sign someone you never know. Live in hope. By the time we could play on Monday, but I wouldn't think they'd go straight into the team if we did.
Mark, team news then for Leicester City. What we're going for the starting 11 on Monday?
I think pretty much the same as we started against Wolves, to be fair. I think, though, Maddison probably won't be fit. Somebody put a post in there saying Shrewsbury Hall, which is not a bad option. Samir probably start with Ndidi in the middle.
Yeah. Tillerman's behind the strikers, Mark.
Yeah. We've got pace with Barnes on the left, Ricky P on the right. I think, I can't see a lot of changes. I was surprised we didn't take Vardy off and give him a bit of a breather in the second half and bring Daka on. So Daka's going to be fresh for Monday night. If you want a bit of pace.
I really bloody wanted Daka. He was like some guy I really, really wanted, because we were like last season, like we were always linked with him, and I've ended up watching a lot of him because of it. There's a few strikers we were into, El Nesri for Sevilla as well, and I really like Daka. I hope he does really well because he's a great player. He should do really well. He should really suit himself down to the pace of the Premier League as well. So, just gutted we didn't get him. We didn't get anyone, to be honest, apart from Mariola.
What about Castagna then, Mark? Do you think he'll feature at right back? Do you think Bertrand will come straight back in to replace Luke Thomas? Daniel Amati, does he keep his place? How do you go at the back, Mark?
Well, I think it depends on where we're at with Castagna. Obviously, he's not had any pre-season. He's not going to be match fit. He's got a mask. I think that's going to be a call for Brendan on that one. I probably can't see him starting. To be fair, I think he'll if he does play any part, he'll come off the bench. But I think Amati will get another one out. I really do.
Yeah, he played well, didn't he, Mark? Considering he made a few mistakes. He pulled it back, and that's what you expect, isn't it, Russ? When you're playing fringe players who's not in their natural positions, you expect them to make a few mistakes, don't you, and rekindle themselves and get better throughout the game.
Of course you do. They sort of they if they're set up in a certain, but I mean, we had it for a while. We had certain. I mean, Antonio, for example, not bad for a right back. He played right back under Bilic and stuff like that. Then you get Triple H hit our players the pedigree. Well, that's what I do. I do play a bit of the older, maybe not on Monday, but I do play the old wrestling theme tunes, but only Triple H's because he's a West Ham fan. But yeah, we were lucky last season. We didn't really have many injuries apart from Antonio in and out. We had Dek and Souček right until probably critical time when he then got injured, and then that's all cost us, I think, our little run. But when it's a mark of a good manager when you play players. I had a privilege. Obviously, I interviewed lots of ex-players, and I was talking to one of them the other day actually, and he was saying, his manager at the time when he played for West Ham made him feel like he could play in any position and he would be the best in that position. So if you're a right back and the manager puts you centre back or puts you left back, he builds you up to think you're the best left back in the country, and so you'd run through a brick wall. And it's about the management. It's not necessarily about the player. It's about how he could be motivated to play in that position, particularly with fringe players. You said, particularly with Europa League and cup games, you need adaptable players now. We need adaptable players.
Yeah. Guys, if you're just joining us, smash a like on this stream, share, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV if you've never watched us before. Go and check out Russ's stuff on West Ham Network if you're a West Ham fan or just enjoys football in general.
Leicester fan. We've interviewed, we've had TC Cotti on there, we've had Kincheski, we've had you on there, Jack.
Yeah, I know. He's a great bloke, Russ.
On Sunday.
We're not like best friends, me and him. We're not rivals. It's just a close friendship.
It is, but it's weird, isn't it? When you've met, it's like I know we sort of go off track, but I always do when I do these things. I've been doing the channel for like 15 months, something like that, 15, 16 months, and I hadn't met anyone. I had literally met no one, and then like now because the fans are back and the ex-player nights, you sort of meet people now. It's really weird. It's really weird seeing people without like a screen in front of them. It's a bizarre thing having to, we haven't been so, like you and me, Jack. We become good mates. Great mates just through the internet. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Let's talk about player watch then, boys. Mark. Who's going to be Leicester's key players and who are West Ham going to have to look out for?
I think West Ham have got to be really, really careful of Tielemans. He's getting in some good positions, and I think he's going to be the one to watch for West Ham. And also, you got Vardy. I mean, you can never rule Vardy out. If you do, it's at your own peril. So they're my key players, I'd say, for this game.
Yeah.
Tillemans and Vardy.
Russ, who do Leicester need to look out for, and who will be West Ham's key players?
So I think we've got to. I mean, we in terms of our key players, Ben Rama. Honestly, Ben Rama has had an absolutely phenomenal pre-season, and he's playing in his position now. He's playing, when we had Mr. Lingard, he was playing in the position that Ben Rama wanted to play in essence. Yeah. And now Benny's playing in that position. He's a completely different player. So full of confidence. Plays at number 10, but he drifts. So he's really hard to pick up unless you man mark him. And if you man mark him, obviously, then should be space. It's him. Bowen is having an absolute storm. Bowen's got a bit between his teeth as well. So from an attacking perspective, those two, and obviously Antonio, Fornals is the unsung hero so far this season. I mean, he only played one game, but I love him. And obviously, you got to watch out for Souček coming into the box. That's what you got to watch. Yeah. Simple. Stop the crosses, and that's half. It's quite easy. Stop Aaron Cresswell crossing it in, and that's half the battle won.
We've got a bit of height now with Vestergaard.
Yeah, you do. You do.
He got more playing time than I think he was expecting on Saturday.
Yeah, I think with Vestergaard, I think he's because of Fofana and stuff, he's obviously come straight into the team, and
yeah, I
think he's a great, and that's what I mean. It's like, and that's why I always admire Leicester. They want a forward, they'll go and get a forward. If you want to write a centre back, to be honest, the Fofana, it was not rushed, but it happened really quickly, isn't it? Literally, the Vestergaard thing happened over 24, 48 hours. That's the way football needs to be done. Not 6 months contract, prolonged negotiations. Is he not? Is he? We don't know. In and out like the hokey cokey. It's just done, and I really respect Leicester for that. That's the way they buy that.
Yeah. Russ, question for you from Tom. What happened to Manuel Lanzini?
Well, I mean, Lanzini, he's for me, he's always a player who's relied on having a more skillful player to play with. That makes sense. So he was like, when we bought him when we had Payet, and them two worked brilliantly. Then he got injured. Lanzini, too many injuries, and unfortunately, and then Payet left, and then he was the main man. I think it was too much. He let, and then he got injured again. He came back halfway through last season, and we had Ben Rama, we had Lingard, we had these sort of skillful players, and he played well, but he played in a different position. He played in more of a deep lying sort of central midfield position rather than as a number 10. And I think that's how he's going to be used when he's used for cup games and maybe Europa League. He played in that position on Sunday, actually. Andy Carroll is it? I think he's on, isn't he? Didn't Newcastle release him? I liked Andy Carroll. I did like him. When he played, he was brilliant. I love players who command more than one defender, and he always did.
Yeah. Right then, lads. Let's talk about tactics. Ross, we'll start with you. Tactics then. What sort of tactics are you going to accomplish against Leicester when heading into the game?
Well, I think, to be honest, I think, bar maybe 2 or 3 teams in the league, we pretty much play the same way. So, it's a lot. It's for us, we sort of have the defense are not cultured defenders. They're blockers, and Craig Dawson's not going to do a 30-yard spraying pass to the fullback. We like to do a high press. We like to get those balls in. So Aaron Cresswell had like our most amount of assists last season, and he was left back. It is a lot of balls. It's late runs in for Souček coming in. We love a set piece. I think we got the top of the league with set pieces last year. So it is about dominating that set piece. For us also, it is about sort of the quick break. It's very similar to how you guys operate, really, but we've got a bit more, I'd say, power up front with Antonio rather than, Vardy's a great quick man, but he's not a beast, is he, really? So that's what we tend to do. We try and get quickly down the wings, get those crosses in. Souček, late man, just giving you all the tactics, but that's basically what we do. To be honest, it's nothing surprising, but I don't think you expect anything different from the West Ham team at the moment.
Mark, tactics for Leicester then? What sort of tactics are you used to beat them?
I think we'll stick with 4 at the back. It's Maddison again is a big question. Is he going to be fit? Isn't he going to be fit? I think Vardy will get a little bit more help going forward. So I'd be looking more of a 4-3-3, but dropping back with the option to counter. It's just all, like I say, it all depends on injuries, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right then, boys. Improvements. We'll start with you, Mark. What do you feel Leicester need to improve on this season than what we didn't last season?
Well, obviously, this season is only just begun, isn't it? Pre-season, obviously, I watched all the games pre-season as well. I couldn't really read a lot into that because we were playing 2 different teams, 2 different halves. I think we've just got to be. I think our biggest problem is sort of the defence and midfield working together, covering other positions, which we can get caught out in. Nobody's tracking back when they should be, or there's been times when Johnny Evans hasn't been playing and Sionchu's gone walkabout, Fofana's gone walkabout, and we've been caught out. I think it's just knowing your jobs, isn't it?
Yeah. Russ, any improvements West Ham need to work on this season, what they didn't, and you felt that they were weak on last season?
Yeah, it goes without saying that we've been trying to get a striker for seems like 3 transfer windows. And it's a replacement for Antonio. He's not going to play, I think he played 2/3 or half of the games last season. You can't have that for a number 1 striker. So for me, we still need that elusive forward. It may not be an elusive forward. Maybe we need another attacking midfielder, Jesse Lingard, and then we can push Bowen into that sort of more forward role, or play her false 9 or whatever. So we desperately need some bodies. We've got a very thin squad. 1 to 11's great. We've got a strong 1 to 11, but after a couple of them get injured, we don't really necessarily have the backup. So it is about squad depth, really. I think I'd like us to improve on, considering we lost. We sold Anderson, we sold Hallow. Jesse went back to Man United, and those were those 2 never played really last season. It's up bodies that we need. Both clubs, we need enough bodies to be able to challenge in Europa as well as the Premier League, as well as the Carabao and the FA Cup as well.
Yeah, smash a like, guys, if you're joining us. It's been a great chat so far, having DJ Russ on from West Ham. Really hope you're enjoying the show so far. Mark, you've got 2 questions you would like to ask Russ then.
I have.
Do you want to give him number 1?
I'll give you number 1. If you could take 2 players from the Leicester City squad, who would you take and why?
Jamie Vardy.
Even at 34?
No, okay. No. Sorry, I didn't think about that. Daka, because I want him. Daka and then Tillemans. It's quite an easy one, I think. I think I love both of them. I think they're both fantastic players. Obviously, we haven't seen Daka perform in the Premier League as such, because obviously we can make that judgment. But on potential, yes. And
what do you think they offer though that you've not got?
So for me, I think Daka offers just another forward, to be honest, which we desperately need in terms of squad depth. I think, if you look at our team, in goal, we're covered now. We've got Areola and Fabianski, 2 very good goalkeepers. Defensively, I don't think there's anyone I'd say who I would take over a Leicester player over a West Ham player. Maybe Pereira, maybe, but to be honest, Soufal is arguably one of the best right backs in the Premier League. It was last season. Midfield, Declan and Souček, but I would play Tielemans as like a 10, and just and then you've got interchangeable. You've got him, Ben Rama, you got Bowen. That's a bloody tasty midfield. And then you got Souček and Rice just mopping up behind. So those are the two I'd take. And then obviously Daka can play the other half of games that Antonio doesn't play.
More.
Brilliant. What would you consider a successful season this season?
This season, top 10. Top 10 this season. I know we finished 6th last season, and us and yourselves were flying high in the Champions League spots. But I think realistically, I think that was about a season too early for us. I think that was a bit of a freak season. And for us, I mean, traditionally West Ham have one good season every 5 years. So as long as we finish, I'd say top 10 is a good. I'm happy of a top 10 finish. Some people won't. I've interviewed loads of ex-players, and they're saying we want top 4, we want top 6. I don't think so. But I'd say, yeah, top 10 and a decent cup run. Europa is going to be fantastic for the fans. If we go out of the group stages, it'd be brilliant. But realistically, we're going to be in the lower draw because we haven't got a very good coefficient score because we've never been in Europe, really, not since the early 2000s. So we will be playing against the big boys. So traditionally, but then West Ham turn up with those games. So but I'd say, yeah, 10th in a good cup run. That'll do me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ross.
Next one then. I'm going to ask the Leicester City fans your most overrated Leicester City player in the squad right now. I'm also going to ask Russ who his most overrated West Ham player is in the current squad. Russ, think about it wisely.
I am. Most overrated player in this. Okay, until... interesting. Okay, most overrated. Oh, that's really odd because everyone's playing quite well at the moment. But if I'm going to say so, okay, here we go. Here's a clip for you. Michail Antonio.
Okay.
But I'll tell you for why. Michail Antonio is the best, worst player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He is. If you watched him the other day, they had the Newcastle game, for example. Someone put on Twitter, he became George Weah to George Weah's cousin in 5 minutes, and that's basically it. He's a great reactive player, but when he's got time to think, will fly in Rose Ed. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he scored some great goals. He scored 47 goals he scored 47 Premier League goals in his West Ham career. Most of that's been playing right back. Last season, I think we hit the post 24 times. About 22 of them were Antonio. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's a great player. Everyone outside the Premier, outside West Ham fans, they see the goals, but he does, out of everyone, because I'm going for the whole team. I'm thinking Declan Rice, no way. Souček, no way. I was thinking Bowen, but Bowen's brilliant. Ben Rama's brilliant. Antonio from an outsider's to an insider's perspective. Shots fired. There we go. That's it.
You've upset him now, Russ. They forgive you.
There we go. People forgive me because there's reasons behind it.
It'd be hashtag Russ out after this.
Exactly. Russ out. Yeah.
Mark in the comments. The fans have had their say. Maddison, Perez, Maddison again, Perez, Rice and Perez. Egg fried rice is overrated. He's not crap, but he's overrated. No. Wesley Fofana. So it's 3-3 then, Mark, between Maddison and Perez. What are we thinking, Mark? Who do we give the award to for most overrated player, Maddison or Perez?
Well, after watching quite a bit of him in Norwich, I think that's about answered your question. It's got to be Maddison.
Yeah, Maddison gets the vote. Next one then, lads. Most underrated player then, Russ at West Ham. Leicester fans, get your most underrated player in at the club. Whoever gets the most votes is the most underrated player at Leicester City Football Club. So, Ross, who is your most underrated player?
Pablo Fornals. Pablo Fornals is my most underrated player. I think he's underrated because I just don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. He does a lot of stuff which goes off the side of the ball, outside, which goes not necessarily, he does a lot for the team. He's just energy. When he's not playing, you don't realise something's missing. There is something missing in the team. It's only you go, Fornals isn't playing. He might not be the most he's a fantastic technical player, but Moyes has Moyesified him into more of a box-to-box sort of midfielder. And it's just his energy. So I would say him, definitely. Him, and then maybe Vladimir Sufal.
Okay. Mark, people have gone for Kasper Schmeichel, Ricardo Pereira, Harvey Barnes, Soyuncu, Luke Thomas. Yeah, I'm good, Stephen, mate. Ricardo and Luke Thomas have got the most votes, Mark. Who do you feel that the most underrated player is? Obviously, Ross has said Mark Albrighton.
I was going to say Mark Albrighton.
Okay.
Just because he can do a solid job, and he'll give you 90% every game, and you know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Mark. Mark Albrighton is the most underrated player in the Premier League. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves, and what a crosser! He is Russ. Mark Albrighton. He wears his heart on his sleeve every match he plays for the football club.
That's what you want. That's what you want for a player, isn't it? I mean, it's not hard. It is not. I mean, obviously, it's not hard to endear yourself to the fans, isn't it? You got to do is have a go. The fans know if you're trying hard and if you're not. It's not your fault if maybe you're not technically good enough. That's not your problem. The problem is, the manager's put you in this position. But as long as you put that shirt on, whether it's a blue shirt, a claret and blue shirt, and have a go from 1 1 to minute 90, we can't criticise you. We can't criticise you. It's not hard.
7 out of 10 at least every game. Jack, what do you think the score will be against West Ham United? We'll get on to that very soon. Right then, boys, we're all going on the European tour. We're both in the Europa League this season. Who's going to go further then, lads? And who would you like in the group stage in that?
I mean, as I said, group stages, it's still a little bit out in the air, isn't it, in terms of who doesn't qualify for the Champions League. In terms of where we are seeded, you're looking at maybe Real Betis, which is obviously Pellegrini's team. I'd like Marseille. Go back and see the Snake, Dimitri Payet. Maybe both. That'd be fun. I mean, personally, I think it's a nice to have. I wouldn't use it as I don't want to use it as a distraction. Obviously, the league is critical, but there is a reward in it. And if you win, you're in the Champions League next year. So, I would like us to get out of the group stages. I'll be happy with that. But it's just great for the fans to be able to go to these European. I mean, we haven't. I mean, you guys done it before. We haven't done it since the early 90s, the 2000s. Even then, it was like we got knocked out. I think the first round proper against Stenar Bucharest. So it's nice for us to have guaranteed matches in the Europa League. So for us, I think it's just a great thank you to the fans for supporting them for so long. So it's not high on my agenda this season, if that makes sense.
Yep. Mark, European tour then. Obviously last season the fans couldn't go. I think they did in other countries, didn't they, Mark? But they couldn't in England. This season's going to be something special, isn't it, Mark? Pushing Leicester around Europe. It's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing to see.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about who we get, to be honest. Like Russ says, let's get out the group stage and let's just take one game at a time. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, like some radio stations that want to play the Champions League theme tune because we were sitting in fourth for so long. One game at a time. Let's, if we're gonna win a trophy this season, let's see if we can't make it that one.
Interesting. Jack, when are they going to do the draw? The 27th of August, around about dinner time.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. I think I'd love to see Leicester win the Europa League this season. Obviously, last season cost us due to injuries and that, so we didn't really have a squad to fulfill in the Europa League and the Premier League at the same time. I think this season we've put strength and depth to our team in Daka, Soumer, Bertrand, Vestergaard, and whoever else wants to come next to Leicester City. I guess with Europa League and Premier League, you've got to have strength and depth, haven't you, Russ? And I guess West Ham haven't done it this season so far, have they?
No, we haven't. We haven't got it. It's something which we are. Well, again, it's a typical West Ham fan reaction. Yes, last year it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get in Europe, but we're not gonna do. We're already gonna go down because we've got no players. It's true. We have a very thin squad, very thin squad, but then I'm not. And there are players. I mean, as I said, we do have guys in the under 23s who could easily make the jump. As and when. We did that last season in the Carabao Cup. We played almost like an under 23 side with a couple of first teamers, and we got through the first few rounds. Then we lost when we played Everton away. So for me, it's about just introducing some of them. We're not going to go out and buy 10 players in 12 days. Which we probably need. But then again, when we did a thing the other day, we looked at our squad, and there's pretty much, bar one or two spots, 2 decent players in each position, which is sort of what you want for a squad. And then a few sort of little bit of youth added in, I think will be okay. But although we don't have to go in the second round of the Carabao Cup, which is nice as well. We go in the third round, don't we, now, because you're in Europe. Oh, that's one game less then, I suppose. It's only 5 we got to add into it now.
Mark, it'd be good to compete in both competitions this season, won't it? The Premier League and the Europa League and that. Knowing we've got all this strength and depth now where we don't have to look over our shoulder and think, you know what, we can't replace these players to play in these competitions.
Providing we're not getting more injuries.
Yeah.
We couldn't take 2 injuries in the same position and be as confident, could we? We found it a struggle at the beginning of this season, losing defenders like we did. We couldn't really afford to lose another one on Monday night. We put us back quite a bit. So I think we've just got to take one game at a time and make sure that the players are rested and well looked after.
Listen, West Ham will finish above Spurs.
That's it. That's all we want. That's literally our season. So like last game of the season last year, the Southampton game, as long as we finish above Spurs and we're not in that Mickey Mouse competition, we're in a proper European competition. That's our season. We don't ask a lot as a West Ham fan. Finish above Tottenham, decent cup run. That's all we need.
Big question is then, Russ, to you. What position would you put West Ham this season if you had to choose one place in the table?
8th.
8th.
I think that's fair. I mean, it's because we've gone from, we finished I think 6th, 15th, 16th 2 seasons ago. Last season was 6th, so I'd split the difference and go about 8th. I think that would do us.
Is that where a good cut run or?
Yeah, that's what I want. Good cut run. I want Martin Noble to lift the trophy in his last year at the club.
Yeah. Let's talk transfer news then, Russ. Have you got anything you want to discuss?
let me just.
I had to ask.
I'll just give you the transfer news.
Go on then.
There you go.
That's it. Would you enjoy it? It's been frustrating. I mean, but it always is. Every transfer window is. I remember the same in the summer last year. The winter transfer. It's always very frustrating. We literally, I think I counted the other day. I think during these last few weeks we've been linked to something like 120 players.
Yeah.
Most we can discount pretty much straight away if they're over the age of say 28. 27, 28, because that's not Moyes. Moyes wants to bring in young, hungry, championship players who, or esque in other leagues who we can build up and like, for example, Souček. Soufal was a relatively old one, to be honest. Bowen, sort of young players who we can double your money. I mean, Soufal, we paid £5 million for him. You could have sold him for 30, 35 million at the moment, the way he's playing. Souček, you signed him for 16 million. So not much. Obviously, the main one is Jay Lings, if he comes to us. I still think he'll be a West Ham player by the end of the transfer window. And a centre-back. We were after Milinkovic. We were after Zuma. Tottenham nicked our transfer targets, and they were after him as well. So, I'd hope by the end of the transfer window, we'll have a striker and a centre-back.
Russ, will Leicester finish top 4? And another question, how much will West Ham miss Jesse Lingard if they don't sign him this summer?
I think Leicester may well just miss out on the top 4. People are going to fucking hate me on this channel. But I think they will just miss out. I think they will, because I think last year was a strange season. And this, and I'd say, maybe the 4th spot potentially. But you know, Man City, Man United, Chelsea have all spent big. Liverpool haven't really spent a lot. And I think and you spent very well. So I think it's between maybe you and Liverpool for that fourth spot. But then you never know. Football's a strange thing, isn't it? So, so I would say, I'd say you could get that last spot. It'll be tough, but we'll see. Will we miss Jesse Lingard? Not at the moment, because I think Ben Rama's playing that position and he's getting a lot of love in that position. But I think his energy, Jesse's got a real energy. Obviously, I was at all the games last season, and obviously I watched a lot of his play off the ball as well. And he would lug his guts to get in a right back position if someone had pushed up and stuff like that. So I think we'll miss his energy and his sort of dressing room banter, which I think you really need. You really need. Maybe not as much as you did last season, because there's more fans there this season.
Yeah. Right then, Ross, before you go, score prediction then for Monday night.
High scoring game. I would like, and I think, don't forget, it's going to be the first game with 60,000 West Ham fans there. Yeah. So I think it's going to, and you saw the effect that it had on Newcastle. Obviously, we won, but Newcastle probably played a lot better than they did all last season, to be fair, on Sunday. I fancy us. I really do. I think it's not going to be a shutout. Not like last season. It's not going to be like that. But I'm going to put us down for a 2-1. 2-1. We'll say 2-1. I've got to. It's my team in it.
Do you feel, though, Russ, it could be different, obviously, but when fans were in at West Ham, it were a bit against the owners, it were affecting the players on the pitch. Do you feel it could be going back to them sort of ways again?
I mean, to be fair,
it'll get better?
To be perfectly honest, I think, that question's been asked quite a lot. And at the beginning of the season, it definitely helped the fans helped the players not having fans in the stadium. We had an awful transfer window. We'd lost to Newcastle 2-1. It's an appalling game. I think we lost to Arsenal as well. Absolutely appalling. And if the fans were there, it may well have got on their backs. But on the flip side, a lot of times last season, if we had the fans, we would have maybe won games. We were 3-0 up against Arsenal and we drew 3-3. That would never have happened if there was fans. We'd have probably won 4-1, 5-1 the way we were playing, and a couple of other games. So I think Monday's going to be different, because Monday it's all about people getting back to the stadium. And then we've got the Palace game on the Saturday. I don't think we'll have a full sellout on Monday, because I think a lot of people are still waiting to see how it all works in terms of getting through security checks and COVID and But the Saturday, 3:00, the Palace game will be buzzing. But I still think we'll be good. We'll have a few extra bits and bobs, hopefully on Monday as well, to get the fans up and running. Can you sing for us? Any requests?
Forever Blowing Bubbles was the request you said.
Forever Blowing Bubbles. There we go. Pretty balls in the air. I won't do the D. Martin version, but there we
go. Where can everyone find you, Russ?
They can find me. Usually I'm at the stadium in the little white box at the top of the under the stadium. That's where I usually am. Just give us a wave. But do the proper wave. Don't turn the hand around and do the other wave. Just give me a wave. But yeah, the West Ham Network on YouTube is probably the best one, or on Twitter. We do stuff. We do quizzes every Thursday and loads of good stuff. Jack comes on and we have a giggle with Jack sometimes, and various other player fan channels all over the place, as well as ex-players and stuff. But yeah, West Ham Network's where to check us out.
Right then, Russ, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Cheers, man.
And we will see you again at some point this season, I'm sure.
We'll see you for the reverse fixture. That'll be for sure.
Take care, Russ.
See you, Russ.
Cheers, guys.
See you later, pal. Right then, Mark, score prediction then for Monday night.
I think we'll win 2-1.
Patson Daco, singing Jack.
I think we'll score twice early, and I think their fans will get on their back, and I think they'll get one in the second half.
Quiz, did you say? Count me in. I'll tell you what, Ross, we'll just have one sing song about Patson Daco. We've got Daco, Patson Daco, Patson Daco, There you go, Ross. Enjoy, pal. Do whatever you want with that, Ross. Mark, can you sing?
No.
No.
I can't even play the radio in tune.
I'm going to go Leicester City 2, West Ham United 1. Before we go, do you want to win a shirt? You could win this one, this away shirt, or you could win the home one. The other away shirt, we have got a competition on Leicester Fan TV where you could win an away kit of your choice. So head over to leicesterfantv.com and go and enter the competition. Before we go, we have got a weekly schedule. This week, live on Leicester Fan TV for the rest of the week, we've got the Premier League prediction show on Thursday with Tom, Jack, and Ian Hume. And then on Friday at 7:30, we've got Reedy and guests. And on Sunday, we have got the legend himself, Mr. Jamie Preston, for the Aftermath show at 9:30. Busy, busy, busy. Right then, Mark, thank you for coming on, pal. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome, pal. You're welcome, mate.
Right then, guys, before I go, smash a like for me, share this stream. If you've enjoyed the show, go on, hit it for me, hit the like button. Subscribe to Leicester Fan TV if you're new tonight and really enjoy our content. This is Jack from Leicester Fan TV saying goodbye. Let's tuck in and boom. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, and Hope Against Cancer. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.